This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Connor James. Police agencies across Kentucky are cracking down on drunk driving through the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. In 2018, Laurel County ranked in the top 40 counties in Kentucky for impaired driving issues. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds talked to police in London about how they're combating those statistics.
Last year, 116 people died in the state from impaired driving accidents.
One is one too many. And it takes a split second for you not to realize it and make a mistake. And you're not only risking yourself, you're risking everybody around you.
Which is why through Labor Day weekend, police agencies across the state are partnering for the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign.
It means we're going to be out more. You're going to be visible. We're going to be stopping cars. We're going to be looking more.
Officers say there are some telltale signs that someone might be impaired. Things like crossing the center line or speeding and slowing down. Adding a possible DUI is not something to take lightly.
It could be even higher charges such as manslaughter, such as assault, murder. All that can stem from a DUI. It's just not worth it.
But officers are also looking for regular safety hazards such as seatbelt and headlights because they can help stop fatal accidents as well.
It may not be that they think they're going to save their lives, and maybe they don't want a ticket. Either way, it's saving lives, and that's what we're all about.
Police say if you suspect that someone is under the influence while driving, immediately call 911. In Laurel County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Police say while the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign will continue through Labor Day weekend, safety checks are always a priority. And Addiction Recovery Care opened an outpatient center in Martin County. This comes after a program introduced into the court system offers some first-time drug charge offenders treatment instead of jail time. Community liaison Megan Evans says for this program, it's vital for addicts.
I know being incarcerated is not giving them the opportunity to work on the coping skills that they need, to work on trauma, to deal with the root issue of what is causing the addiction.
In the last 3 months, Evans has helped around 45 people get the opportunity to go to treatment instead of being incarcerated. Tonight at 11, hear her crisis to career story.
And it's been another hot day here in the mountains. A few of us starting to get on those isolated rain chances, hopefully cooling us off. One of those areas not receiving that rain is Jenkins. We're looking at US 119, US 23 in Jenkins, and you're seeing just drier conditions. So definitely on the warm side over there. Even looking into Jackson, those clouds starting to increase slightly, 93 degrees. That dew point of 67, though, making it feel like those mid-90s. So definitely on the warm side and on the humid side this evening. Those lower 90s for a lot of us, starting to see those 80s, especially out into parts of Lexington, Richmond, where that rain's starting to move in. A very cool 74 over into Pikeville, where they've seen a little bit more rain for today as well. But feeling like those mid to upper 60s for a lot of us, feeling like 100 up into Ashland, 96 Hazard in Jackson, feeling like 98 down into Middlesboro. And there's those isolated rain chances. Those have been popping up on and off throughout the afternoon. And as we scan the skies now, some heavier downpours in northern Perry County. We're seeing some in Floyd County moving back into Pike County as well, a little bit into Magoffin County, and we're going to keep an eye on those line of showers and storms starting to move into the Lexington area. None of them are severe now, but they definitely could be on the strong side. So actually there is a severe thunderstorm watch out to our west. That's until 9 p.m. this evening. We will not see that watch get extended into parts of the mountains, but we will see those same storms roll into the mountains. Like I said, they could be on the strong to severe side at times, so we'll keep an eye on that as we head through the rest of those evening hours. Connor.
All right, thank you, Paige. Well, for more than a month now, we've been telling you about the problems black jewel miners are facing after the mine where they were working shut down and their paychecks bounced. The story has been receiving national attention, including on CBS this morning. Earlier today, CBS morning anchor Tony DeCopel talked about the coal miners on the program's Talk of the Table segment.
There was one train of coal that those workers had dug up that had not been shipped out before the company went out of business. When the company started moving it, the workers got in front of it.
Train.
This was back in July. 4 weeks later, there's now a tent city there, and they're holding that train hostage, asking for their back pay. It's an incredible scene. The details are amazing. The local funeral home has donated tents for workers to live in.
They're playing games.
It's like a it's like a tailgate party on steroids, is how one person there described it. And what's even more interesting, they've put partisan politics aside. There are people who are usually against coal mining for environmental reasons. They're side by side with the miners, hoping they get their money. Bernie Sanders' campaign representative apparently sent pizza over. So I'm rooting for him.
They're holding that coal shipment hostage.
No, and I like the sign that said "No pay, we stay."
Yeah.
Meanwhile, today we learned State Senator Johnny Ray Turner plans to pre-file a bill to close a loophole in the tax code. With the way it currently stands, Harlan County schools owe $73,000 to Revelation Energy, a sister company of the Black Jewel Company. The company overpaid a utility tax. Now the school system might be on the hook to refund despite other delinquent Black Jewel taxes that would benefit the district. And right now, a former state employee is facing 6 counts after investigators say she stole more than $10,000 from the agency she was working for. Dana Baker was indicted earlier this month. Court papers alleged the fraud happened from 2007 to last year while Baker was working for the Kentucky Commission for Children with Special Health Care Needs. Investigators say Baker created fake accounts to pay personal expenses. She's charged with mail fraud and identity theft. And the Supreme Court is preparing to hear a case about the DACA program. The court will determine if the Trump administration acted lawfully when ending DACA. DACA protects people who came to the U.S. illegally as children from deportation. 2 nationwide preliminary injunctions issued by lower courts have forced the Department of Homeland Security to allow renewals in the program for nearly 2 years. Arguments for the DACA case are expected to be heard in November. And 2 Kentucky natural gas companies are fined more than $10,000. The Public Service Commission says B&H Gas and Johnson County Gas, along with their owner and president Bud Rife, will have to pay the fines by August 28th. The companies have customers in Floyd and Johnson counties. The PSC says the companies issued promissory notices without approval. Regulators also say Johnson County Gas and Rife did not file quarterly adjustments to reflect changes in the natural gas market price. And a new scam has hit the phone lines in Letcher County. Since January, more than 50 people have filed complaints to the sheriff's office about scam phone calls. Recently, more people are saying they have received calls about their social security numbers. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more.
Scam phone calls,
people of Letcher County be aware,
are dialing up a world of trouble for the Letcher County community.
They're targeting our seniors. I think it's a shame.
One of those calls attempts to convince people that their social security number has been compromised and needs to be renewed for a fee.
There's another one that's going around that they say that your social security number's been gave as information during a criminal activity.
Sheriff Mickey Steins says these calls are an attempt to fish personal information and money from the people who received them.
Your social security number is never going to be changed. You know, that's a number you get at birth, and you can't change it, and money's definitely not going to change it.
He says there is a simple way to handle the situation.
I wouldn't give them any information over the phone. I would just hang up on them.
But he recognizes how tricky the scammers are.
You know, now you can't block the number because they're using so many different numbers to call from.
So he hopes everyone in the area will use caution.
How many people has actually fell a victim to this scam and has sent money to them?
To avoid being a victim. In Letcher County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
State Representative Angie Hatton says she has reported 2 calls to the Attorney General Consumers Fraud Hotline. She encourages others to do the same. That number is 1-800-772-4636. And the Kentucky Lottery wants to send 5 lucky people to Times Square to ring in the 2020 New Year. But to be a winner, you must be the first loser. The lottery says it will pick among people with losing Powerball tickets worth at least $4 for the contest. 5 people will win a 4-day trip to New York City from December 29th to January 2nd. They will also compete with winners from other states for $1 million. Entries can be submitted through September 29th. Well, coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, the search is off the Coast Guard of Florida for 2 missing firefighters. See what the Coast Guard and volunteers are doing to help find them.
And those scattered showers and storms continue this evening, and even as we head into your Wednesday, cold front moves in on Thursday, hopefully bringing some nicer temperatures back into the mountains. I'll have those details coming up in just a little bit.